Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider that.
You all don't remember the Georgia Southern game, do you?
You know, I hope there's Bigfoot. I don't think there is.
Like rat poison. All right, so
It's Division I football! It ain't murals!
That is right. This is the Hoppy Huddle podcast. I'm Jake. That's Ed. And before we get started, I have a little something that I would like to share with y'all.
We come from old Virginia. Oh my goodness. What
How
a
about them
game.
Who's, baby?
How about them Who's, baby?
Who's?
Woo! Oh my goodness, man. Wow. We'll get to that game.
We'll get to it. We'll get to the upset Virginia Cavaliers, the
Yes.
Cavalanche, the
Reed, where are you,
resurgence.
buddy, tonight? Where's Reed in the chat? We
Where's our
need him.
Wahoo fans?
Oh, what a weekend. What a weekend of football.
Dude, this weekend was absolute cinema. Just perfection across the board. We had bangers in every time slot. We had just the most beautiful scenes in all of college football, the best settings, the best storylines. We had everything that you could want from a weekend of college football. We had it. It was awesome. I had the 5 screens going, and this week it actually justified. You know?
Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff happening. And I think we saw a little bit more idea of who we think the good teams are and some of who these pretenders are. I've still got a few question marks of teams that about won Saturday, but we'll get to all the games. We have an action-packed hour here today. So let's go. Where do you want to start?
Let's roll. All right. Starting off, I think we got to start at the top. Let's talk about Oregon Penn State.
Okay. Go ahead.
Man, I loved this game. I enjoyed this game so much. The whiteout, the environment, Oregon. I was wrong about a lot of teams this weekend, but I had this game dead on the money. All right. Drew Aller is mid. All right. I was right about this. He's not bad. He's mid. But you know who's not mid? That kid at Oregon, Dante Moore. That guy is a dog. He was his stance in the pocket was really good. I thought that he stepped into big throws. I thought he made big throws the entire night against a vicious Penn State defense. The Penn State defense, man, a lot of credit to them for containing the Oregon offense because they really saved that game in the second half. When Penn State's offense couldn't get it going, the defense kept them in the game and allowed them to come back, get into double overtime. And yes, this was a double overtime classic. I have to say, both teams played really hard. This is a theme, again, that we've been talking about this entire season. There has been some questionable refereeing around the sport. And I think that there was a lot of just stuff that they were letting them play pretty loose in the Penn State Oregon game, but at least it was consistent kind of both ways with some of the holding and pass interference calls or non-calls, I should say. Decorian Moore, learn the name if you haven't already. He's a dog. He was their number one receiver. On the key moments, they went to Decorian Moore. It reminded me, if y'all have seen the movie Air, where they talk about the Michael Jordan shoe and the Nike scouts, like on the most important play of the game, who do they pass the ball to? The true freshman to make the shot. And on the most important plays of the game, who did Oregon try and throw the ball to? Decorian Moore.
Jake, you just referenced the movie. I actually remember watching the game. So
right. Well, I'm referring to the line from the movie.
Okay.
The line from the movie, right? And in the key moments, it was Dante Moore to Decorian Moore. The Moore connection there. I thought Oregon along the lines of scrimmage on offense, they kind of, they let some pressure, but they pass blocked enough to give Dante Moore time. And I was really impressed with Oregon's defense. They stood up against Penn State's. Penn State's got some big dudes on that line. They stood up against them well. Penn State receivers continue to unimpress. Drew Aller continues to be have one good quarter a game, which is not what you want from your first round NFL
Well,
draft quarterback. And
okay.
if you're telling me he had more than one good quarter in that football game, then me and you watch a different game.
I'm not, but all right. Let's talk about Oregon for a second. Then I want to get to Drew Aller. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, hats off to Oregon. That was a well played game. Great
It was.
defensively. And I may have been wrong about Oregon. I said you go back to our original preseason podcast. I said Oregon was going to be your national champion in 2026.
Didn't I have them win the Big Ten, Oregon?
I may have been a bit late on that one. They proved they're still a young team. I mean, they're going to be
they're
better.
so talented. Oh,
They're
my
talented,
gosh.
and they proved to go into that whiteout. That was an impressive performance. You're right, the Moors, them along with Ohio State, and we'll get to Ohio State later.
Yeah,
they're clearly, I think, the two best teams. Again, the Big Ten. The theme again for the third straight year is the Big Ten has the best teams.
I say there's 3 teams in the country competing for the number 1 slot, and it's Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Miami. I'm not so sure. I'm not sure if it's just 2 teams really here, but anyway.
Okay.
Mine may not be on that tier. I'd like to see Miami beat Florida State really easy. I'd like to see that game. Can we get back to Miami after this week?
Right. Okay. We'll have plenty of time to talk about Miami.
We know Ohio State and Oregon belong in that class.
Yes,
right
they
now.
absolutely do.
They both have proven against good teams on the road that they can do it. Now, let's get back to Drew Aller. Okay, Oregon's defense is outstanding.
Yes.
He struggled in the first half. The whole offense struggled. But I think the bigger issue with that offense early, it was Singleton was the problem. Their running game was the problem.
You're right. They didn't run the ball very well at all.
Singleton averaged 1.9 yards a carry. I mean, and Allen was better, but I mean, that was the problem. And so then they got and Penn State's defense kept the game close. And then in the fourth quarter, Aller looked really good. He made some throws, and those are the throws that have pro scouts salivating, Jake. And you don't want to hear that, but that's what it is. Okay, now, and I texted this to you when the interception happened in double overtime. I said Drew Aller. I don't even remember exactly what I texted you. Here we go again. But then go back and watch that interception again. I'm not so sure that was really his fault. I think it was an outstanding play by the defender. Really.
Yeah, he had like 2 other throws in this game that should have been intercepted.
I know. Listen, I'm not saying he was the second coming of Joe Montana in this game. I'm not. But I also don't want to hang this whole loss on him. Offensively, they couldn't do anything right in this game. And I think a lot of that's attributable to Oregon, too. I don't want to just say it was Al.
It's not all Aller, and he's not a bad quarterback.
No.
I don't understand the first round hype, and I never bought him as a Heisman contender.
Well, yeah, but the narrative of this game quickly shifted to Aller and that interception at the end because that's what we remember. But I think the real issue here is Oregon. It was a great defensive game from both teams.
Yeah.
Neither one. I mean, Oregon couldn't put them away because Penn State's defense was just so good. I'm not ready to write Penn State off yet. This is September. It was September 27th.
Yeah.
I mean, teams can change in October, November, and December. We saw this with Ohio State last year. We saw Ohio State play Oregon. Oregon beat them in a high-scoring game. What happened when we get to the playoffs? Or Ohio State drubbed them. Teams can change.
Right.
Let's not, if you've got both those defenses, after seeing that game, I'm convinced both those teams can make long runs in the playoffs because of those defenses. It's a question of, can those offenses show up enough? I know Oregon can. I don't know if Penn State, I'm still not sold that Penn State can at this moment, but we might. Who knows?
Yeah.
They got to run the ball better, though.
I just think something that we've watched a lot of Drew Aller over the last 3 years. I think it's pretty clear at this point that you can say he just doesn't have the clutch gene.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Like there are some guys that have it, that play bad, and then in the big moments they shine. And Drew Aller will give you some good moments, but
Jay, with that running game and that defense, I don't know that he has to be clutch, but maybe once or twice occasionally, and they could still win a national title in this group.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. I thought Oregon would win. They did.
Yeah.
But
Congratulations. Yeah. Oregon's, I can already make my preseason top 25 for next year. It's going to be Oregon at number 1.
Dude, my Oregon national title ticket that I have on Kalshi is it's up like 12%.
Yeah, that's crazy. But what a game, what a finish. Just a crazy scene to white out. We got to get to one of those games. We do.
Oh, we got it.
Man, I wish I'd have gotten to that one. That would have
been.
I had hotel reservations for that one. Had to cancel it, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
So.
We
anyway.
did. We did.
Um,
All right.
and what's going on at the same time was the Georgia-Alabama game, which
Right.
I have very different emotions about.
Yeah. Let me hear your opinion on this first, because I think I've got an interesting take.
So I felt like Oregon Penn State was the battle of these clash of titans, teams that really can compete for the national title. And I feel like Alabama Georgia is a team of we're watching, a couple of veteran NBA teams that used to be good a long time ago and now are just living off their reputation. Okay. I mean, here let's talk about the good part. I mean, Ty Simpson's good. I think that's one of the first takeaways.
That's pretty clear at this point.
I think it's pretty clear he's a top quarterback in the country. When he's given time to throw, he's able to make the moves. I thought Jam Miller really didn't do much in this game other than when it counted at the end. That running at the end, he's coming off an injury. So, I mean,
he might just be still hurt, honestly.
He might be. But he gave him the runs at the end they needed.
Yeah.
I think Kalen DeBoer obviously understands how to coach against Georgia. He just can't coach against other teams. But he did enough. I think the combination with him and Grubb is probably enough to confuse Georgia. And Georgia just can't somehow, like Georgia's in Tennessee's head, Alabama's in Georgia's head. And I think there's just something about that.
Dude, DeBoer and Grubb just put Kirby in a box, man.
They did. Absolutely.
They blindfolded him and shoved him in a pool and said, "You're in space." And he could not get out of that in the first half. Now in the second half, they clamped up and Kirby, legendary Kirby halftime adjustments kicked in, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, and again, Georgia's problem, and I think we've said this, was
lines of scrimmage.
It is. It's that they don't. I don't think they trust Gunnar Stockton to win them games. Whereas Ty Simpson, they believe in Ty Simpson. He is going to, and he may make mistakes, but he's going to be good enough. I mean, they don't have enough offense. Georgia
Ryan Williams stop dropping the ball.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other matter. So, and I know it was a close game, and Georgia was able to keep them the second half, keep it close. But Alabama looked like the better team on the field for this game, and it doesn't surprise me. The funniest thing coming out of this, though, and I told you this, I think I may even text this to you at some point, is now we're going to hear, that Florida State game, that was a fluke. If we played them now, we hypothetically beat them. You lost to them. Stop with the hypotheticals, SEC. I don't want to hear it.
Here's a hypothetical for you. How many points would UVA score on Georgia's defense?
155, yes. So now you've got to look at, both these teams have interesting schedules ahead. I mean, Alabama is hosting Vanderbilt this week. That's going to be, you don't want to get
Diego Pavia. You don't even know.
Yeah, and that will be a fun game. And then you've got Georgia. And Georgia now has their first conference loss. I mean, it used to be one loss would just kill you. Now you can have a loss, but you don't want to get a second loss real quickly because you don't know. You think a second loss,
you're probably out of the conference title race to the second loss.
Probably, but you're not necessarily out of a playoff race yet. But if a second loss happens, you got to be perfect the rest of the way. And they still got to play. I mean, let's see. Who does Georgia have left to play?
I thought it was not that bad of a schedule, honestly.
It's not. But they do have to play Texas, if I remember. Yeah, they've got to go to Auburn here. Now, I don't know what Auburn can do. I mean, but they do play at Jordan-Hare, and crazier things have happened.
Is what they can do.
Well, crazier things have happened to better Georgia teams at Jordan-Hare.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to let me comment on this game real quick. I think that the difference of this game is Alabama and Georgia are actually about, I would say, equivalent in talent level on the lines of scrimmage in the players they've recruited and how those players are performing. The difference is Alabama is built with a scheme built to those players. They are a high scoring team. They don't need, insane run blocking and just maul you for 4 yards every play like old Alabama used to do, right? They are built to be a more wide open, more spread out, more flexible offense. And, offense wins championships nowadays. That's just how it is, right? and with DeBoer calling the plays or Grubb calling the plays and DeBoer helping help coach that offense, they're built like this wide open team. Georgia, while having the same relatively, I would say, matchup talent level on the lines of scrimmage, Gunnar Stockton is not Ty Simpson. They can't play the way that Alabama is as a high-flying, fast-paced offense, right? They have to play. Now, Gunnar Stockton, you put him on 22 Georgia, I think they obliterate, right? But Gunnar Stockton's not. He's built for the old Georgia teams to game manage, to run the offense, and to sit behind a extremely talented O-line and just make good decisions. And he does those things, but you need a dynamic playmaker when you don't have the clear and obvious advantage over every team you play on the lines of scrimmage.
And that was when they had just an incredible defense. They don't have that anymore.
Right. And I'm saying this goes offense and defense.
Yeah. But we're in the rev share, the NIL era. That doesn't work anymore. They don't have the depth. And listen, they got to play Auburn. They have to play Ole Miss. They have to play at Mississippi State, which is not going to be an easy game. They have to play Texas. They have to play Georgia Tech. I mean, I don't. Is Kirby not running? Is it Mike Bobo? Is it Kirby? Is it the combination where they've got to change?
Just missed on some of the guys in the line of scrimmage. Like they're not as they had like absolute number one both the units every time. Front seven on defense and the O line. They would just push people over like bowling pins. And they're just not doing that. And I don't know whether that's because other teams have gotten better or Georgia has missed on some guys or they've gotten worse. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's probably a bit of both. Probably some better players have filtered up from lower schools in the G5 through the portal. And probably Georgia's talent has just come down a little bit. But you can't play that same style.
There's no
who can play that style? Probably Ohio State.
Ohio State's probably about the only one that can play that style.
And maybe you could say Texas last year, right?
Yeah.
But like you don't have that advantage that you previously had, and so when you don't have that, the team with the dynamic offense and the playmaker at quarterback is going to come out on top, and that's what happened here.
Yeah. And now, so Alabama looks like the team we thought they probably were the beginning of the season. The Florida State loss still shows that they can be exposed on any day. Who knows?
Yeah, and I'm still interested to see that Alabama O-line go up against a better pass rush.
Yeah.
Because Florida State got pressure on Ty Simpson, and when he was pressured, he was not the machine that he's been the last couple of weeks. So I don't it's not clear whether he's improved or he's just hasn't faced a D line like that.
Well, that was his first game at Doak Campbell. There was a lot of,
and he looked great in Sanford. He looked great. But I would just be, Caden Proctor has gotten better at tackle. I have to say he was, so I'll be interested to see how that Bama line and teams improve throughout the year. So I'll be interested to see how they improve. Georgia as well. Right. But I think the best line of scrimmage teams are in the ACC and the Big Ten this year. That's the top five.
Oh, yeah, maybe so. Yeah. To me, what I've seen so far is, and that we're at the third point is, at the top, the Big Ten have the best teams at the top at the moment.
Yeah.
The SEC all loving living off their reputation, but every team's got holes. Every team, one of these teams has got holes, and they've got some good moments, but then there's a lot of challenges. I thought Oklahoma was playing better than anybody, but when Tier out, who knows where that's going? So
yeah.
Speaking of holes. Let's stay in the SEC. Let's talk about that LSU Ole Miss game. We called LSU a pretender, and I think they were lucky to keep that game to a 5-point game.
We called Ole Miss a pretender too.
And I'm still not sure they're not a pretender. Okay, I'm still not 100% convinced, but at least they're winning the pretender game of the pretenders. They probably should have won that by more scores, honestly.
And you know what I'm convinced of though? I did come away with Trinity Chambliss is a good quarterback.
Yeah, and I don't think
LSU's a good defense. They play
I'm not
real
sure
coverage.
LSU's that great a defense. I'm really not. I don't think
they're good, not great.
They're good, not great. Is LSU just the same as Clemson? Are we willing to go there?
No, but you know who LSU does look like?
Who?
Every Brian Kelly Notre Dame team.
Yeah, that's probably true. LSU's in trouble. I think they are. And whether and Nuss may be hurt, and we don't only get the full story. They can't run the ball. Maybe they get
Like
this
at all. They cannot run the ball at all.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, Ole Miss. This was never really. I don't think it was as close as the score indicated.
Ole Miss moved the ball like at will, basically.
Yeah. I mean, so I think certainly. Yeah. So anyway, Chambliss is not. Chambliss probably won't. I think he'll stay the starter.
I agree. I think he's the real deal.
I have concerns about them defensively going on and beating some other teams. I think they'll be a fun team.
Yes.
Listen, Ole Miss will be a must-watch game every time they play this year, and going forward, because you're not going to know what's going to happen. I think.
I agree.
But I think the bigger problem is LSU. I think they could be looking at a 7-5 finish, a lot closer to 75 than 10-2 at this point.
Yeah, but I'm not entirely confident in a lot of the teams that they're going to be playing. So what's the schedule the rest of the year? They got
they've got everybody.
They've got South Carolina,
Vanderbilt, A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
I mean, in South Carolina. Yeah. I mean, so now again, I think South Carolina, they'll probably beat I think they're better than South Carolina. I don't know. I think that's a close game, but the other four are clearly better than them. I mean, you split those. I mean, I don't know. So the real question is, I don't think Brian Kelly's going anywhere. I don't think they can pay that buyout. I think it's pretty big.
Yeah.
But that seat will be scorching.
Harold Perkins disappeared, and he had 2-3 tackles the whole game.
Yeah. I mean, this was it was an interesting game. I'm still not. The reason I'm still not 100% consoling Ole Miss is I'm just not getting the sense of this defense. I just don't have faith in the defense yet.
I'm not sold on Ole Miss as a team. I'm sold in Trinidad Chambliss.
Yes.
As a top 3 quarterback in the SEC. Probably, right?
I gotta look at my list. I mean, you gotta have.
He's better than us right now.
Yeah, but you got to have Ty Simpson, Pavia, and Mateer are probably at the top tier, right?
Mateer's injured, so we don't know how he's going to be when he gets back.
Okay.
So top four, given Mateer's injury.
I mean, Shapen, good grief. I like what Shapen's been doing. No, he's not going to get the love that everybody else is going to get.
Right. I mean, he's been way better than DJ. He's been way better. I think he's been better than Taylor Green. I like Taylor Green, but I think he's been better.
I mean, Shapen's been better than Arch, better than DJ,
better than Arch, DJ. Yeah.
Better than Gunner, Shapen's not getting the respect in the SEC that he deserves.
Well, they keep winning. He will.
Yeah.
They lost. Speaking of that, they lost a tough game, man.
Man, I had called that one too. I was feeling so good about that. I texted you Hail State.
Yeah, that blew it. That's what you did.
That was what I should never have texted you.
You can't never gloat early.
Tennessee, you're just gonna be thankful you got out of there with a win, because if you'd have hung that second loss already, I think you'd have been in trouble. But
do we need to have a conversation about Tennessee's defense?
Yes, it's not good.
Yeah.
Now, again, I think this Mississippi State team is well put together. I think we need to have a conversation about what Jeff Lebby's done already this year at Mississippi State.
Right, but there's a significant talent gap between Mississippi State and the rest of the SEC. And Lebby's done a great job there. But if Tennessee's defense is functioning the way a Tennessee defense should function, they don't score. What did they score? 34 points?
No, it's 41-34, but that was one was an overtime. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. It just felt like Mississippi State was able to move the ball pretty consistently on Tennessee, and that I don't think that bodes well for Tennessee going in the rest of the SEC, especially against some of these better offenses.
No, but Tennessee.
I think Ty Simpson will obliterate that defense.
Yeah, they should. But Tennessee's schedule is not that difficult. It's they got the Texas friendly schedule. They really only play. I mean, the Florida game's gotten a lot easier. Kentucky doesn't look good. I mean, they play Alabama, they play Oklahoma, they play Vanderbilt. I mean, Tennessee, they got Arkansas, they got Kentucky, they got New Mexico State, they got Florida. I mean, Tennessee, that was their banana peel. I mean, that was it the other day. So even if those last 3 ranked games, they go 1-3 or 1-2, they're still 9-3. That's probably better than what we had.
But yeah.
Well, in supposed down year.
Yeah. It's interesting. Anyway,
But
All
but
right.
but real quickly, Jeff
Yeah.
Lebby. I mean, is he going to stay at Mississippi State, or is he going to be a candidate for any jobs this year?
I don't know. I feel like it's too early. I think it's too
He's
early
done
for
a
him.
great job there.
He
I mean,
has.
and I think anybody now that gets Mississippi State, last year they were just you could roll over them. I don't think anybody wants a piece of them this year.
Nope. Nope.
No, but good job hanging in there. I was really pulling for him. Let's see. We can shift conferences here. Well, why don't we stay in the SEC and talk about the saddest offense I've seen in a long time?
Oh, you mean the Auburn Tigers?
Ugh.
You mean the
So-
QB draw Auburn Tigers?
Ugh. So, we talked about in the offseason that this team was going to be contingent on Jackson Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, we can have our debate about Drew Aller. We're still having a spirited discussion. I think the book is closed on Jackson
I told you last week, and you were like, no, let's see. Let's hold off.
He holds the ball too long. The offensive line can't protect him.
He's great, except for the 11 sacks every game.
And please,
that's not great.
Please explain to me why they don't run the ball more.
I don't know. I also think Hugh Freeze, his offense is not cutting edge anymore.
Okay. So let me read you some stats here. I think I texted you and your brothers this.
His offense was cutting edge 10 years ago when he brought it to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
It's not that anymore.
It's not. So do you know what Hugh Freeze's career record is against AP ranked teams?
I know it's not good.
4-17. And that's 1-9 at Auburn, 1-1 at Liberty, 2-7 at Ole Miss. Is it? I mean, so we've got a Jackson Arnold problem. Well, first of all, let's talk about A&M. Then we'll get to Auburn. A&M, the battered Aggie syndrome seems to be delayed a week. Although I don't know if Auburn's a good representation of that. Aggie's defense, it's hard to. I mean, defense hard to judge them when you're playing Auburn. I thought the offense didn't look in sync for the Aggies like it did against Notre Dame. They looked a little.
I still think Le'Veon Moss is really good.
I think Le'Veon Moss had a good game. And I think Auburn's defense, both these defenses were good defenses. So I think you were probably getting why it was a low-scoring game. I thought A&M had plenty of times to put this game away, and they just couldn't. But, I mean, if you're Texas A&M, you got to win those games. These are games they lose in the past. These are the games where they –
Concepcion is also a beast. He had 7 catches for 113 yards, 16.1 yards per catch.
Yeah.
Concepcion's a beast.
So I think if you're the Aggies, you're now going, okay, we got that tough one out. Now we got a little bit of breathing room here in the next few weeks. Got Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, before we get to LSU, Missouri. I mean, their schedule's manageable. It's not the worst. They got a little few breaks, and that Florida's down. LSU seems to be down. I mean, all of a sudden that schedule, which looked hard at the beginning of the season, now is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
This team's going to be in the title race up until the end, I think, based on what we see.
I agree.
Now, let's talk about our Jackson Arnold problem. I don't know what you do. I mean, do you just play Deuce Knight at some point? I mean, maybe they must think he's not ready yet to play him, or they.
He wasn't a top. He wasn't like that level. Deuce Knight was a 5-star, but he was like a 31 5-star. He was not like some of these guys like Raiola and Lagway and who's the guy? Sayin and these are like top 10, top 5 overall guys that were like ready to go freshman year. Deuce Knight was more of a project. Like he has a ton of athletic potential, but he was still really rough. So I don't know if he's really ready. I think he needs a solid full year of development.
Well, they're in trouble. They and the Hugh Freeze. This is one. If they go 6-6, do you think he's done?
Oh, he's gone.
7-5. Do you think he's done?
Probably, depending on the 7. If they beat Alabama and Georgia 7-5, I think they give him another year.
So they
Which is not out of the question for Hugh Freeze because he will win big games and lose small ones. That does happen. They consistently play to the level of their opponent.
Yeah, that Georgia game is going to be interesting in 2 weeks. They're off. I think Auburn's off this week. And then they've got Georgia at home. And it would, you're right. They beat Georgia all of a sudden. It's, okay, maybe things are feeling better. But they've still got Missouri, Vanderbilt, Alabama, and Georgia. That's not a good run.
No. No,
No.
that's tough.
No, this team's. It's a shame because they're wasting a great defense. I think Auburn's
And
got
great
them,
receivers too.
and great receivers, but they
Great
feel
O
very.
line. Honestly, a great everything except scheme and quarterback and running back.
Yeah, they're feeling, and so the crazy thing is, could we have LSU, Auburn, and Florida all open up this year? There's
There's
a
a
world.
chance. There's a
I don't think LSU is
chance.
opening up.
I think just mathematically that's not going to happen.
but there's a real chance that Florida and Auburn both open up.
Dude, imagine that would be a coaching search, man.
Lane Kiffin's getting a big fat raise.
You don't think he'll leave at this point? His daughter's graduating.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's rumblings that last year that Florida had a deal in place.
Yeah, it
depends
for
on
some
who you
reason
believe on
Lane just
Twitter.
like feels more like Auburn. I don't know why. Just like the vibe, he just feels like an Auburn guy, you know?
I don't know, man. Who knows? You know what Lane, but Lane certainly deserves whatever he gets, and he will. If those jobs open, he will make money one way or the other.
Yeah.
Ole Miss will come to the table. So,
Yep.
Yeah, but
yep.
Auburn,
And you know who else will make money? Eli Drinkowitz will get another fat raise.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. All right, well, let's leave the SEC. Where do you want to go next?
I think we got to talk about the absolute cinematic event that happened in Illinois with USC coming to town. This was a game, man. What a way to start off the day. Each team had almost 500 yards of total offense, 2 turnovers each. Just a crazy, chaotic game. Like, yeah. What were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Illinois, and because we talked about in the previous show last week, they were hurt defensively, and they came out on a homecoming game and they just balled out, and then they played well. And to me, that's a sign of a good veteran team where you bounce back after a tough loss. I mean, they could have really just packed it in, and they gave a performance they needed against. And I thought both of these teams played.
Altmaier stepped up to the moment.
They did. Altmaier had a great game, and I didn't think USC played poorly. I mean, I think I'd like to see more from those defense. Both defenses seem to be just whoever's going to get the ball last was going to win this game.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. The kid who's the wide receiver for USC, they could not stop him. Lemon,
Makai Lemon, yeah,
Makai Lemon, man, could they put somebody on him? Did I lose you?
No, you're back. You're back.
Okay, all right. At some point, do you think Illinois is going to put 2 or 3 guys on him because they just kept throwing the ball no matter what happens?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a great game. I mean, I know the piling on at Lincoln Riley already started right after the game, and I know everybody's. Let's wait to see where the season goes.
I was a little the clock management at the end there was a little questionable. Like I feel like they could have run the ball a couple of times and not left Illinois with as much time on the clock before they scored, because I feel like they knew that they were going to score there. And
they left a lot of time. Yeah, they just scored. You're right. I was thinking the same thing.
They left them like a minute and a half. I was like, man,
way too much time.
Yeah,
way too much time. But no, that was an atypical Big Ten game. 2 teams going back and forth. But so yeah, I still think both those teams. I think both are going to be in that running for that 4th Big Ten slot. I think, and I think the Big Ten is proving that it deserves 4 teams in the playoff. So I think both the teams are still alive. I mean, who knows? They may even get 5 teams.
This game may be key in the playoff race for one of the Big Ten slots. Like it may come down to Illinois and USC, and then Illinois may get the nod because they won this game.
That's very possible. Yes. I mean, at this point, Indiana looks like they're going to get we're assuming that Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon are going to get
we'll get to Indiana in a second. That was a totally different game than this one.
Yeah. But yeah, so this game could come down to tiebreakers. But again, I'm not ready to say Lincoln Riley's season's over and USC's cooked yet.
No, I'm not. I am ready to say this looks like a Lincoln Riley defense. It doesn't look that improved. Like,
yeah, they had improved, but then all of a sudden, I mean, let's see where the season goes. I'm not willing to be done with them yet.
I'm not willing to write them off. I'm just saying, like, that doesn't look like that they have an elite defense, and it just kind of looks like a Lincoln Riley. Yeah, it looks like a Lincoln Riley Oklahoma team with a great offense and a okay suspect defense that people can move the ball on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned the other Big Ten game, which was more typical Big Ten game.
Oh, I want
What
to
happened to Indiana's
claw my
offense?
eyes out watching this game. Holy cow, dude. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I love a good defense as much as the next guy, but a good defensive game was the Oregon Penn State game. That was great defense. This was just struggling offenses.
Hey, and I appreciate Fernando Mendoza taking that safety and blowing the cover there. I really do
What was
appreciate
that? Why did he do that?
They run out the clock there. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess, Iowa makes teams look ugly. And it was just after all the talk last week, after all the points they scored, you're bound to have one of these games.
Yeah, it was really, it kind of brought me back to reality with Indiana's offense. It's like they're not that invincible. They're not going to score 80 on everybody. Iowa's a good defense. I underestimated Iowa's defense this year because they kind of been middling so far. They stepped up in a big moment at home. And yeah, I mean, I think we have to consider that this might just be similar to Indiana last year, which is they're going to blow out some teams and they're going to be good against some other teams, but they're probably not going to upset the top of the apple cart in one of these big games. I don't.
They're going to Eugene in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Right. And so I think people are probably going to be a lot of delusional people going into that game. You could be disappointed.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. So,
as much as I love Indiana and Coach Stig and all that they're doing there.
All right, speaking of delusional, let's talk about those Wahoos. Let's get to the Friday night.
All right. Heck yeah,
man.
baby. Chandler boys.
So, the key to any upset is for a team, for an underdog, is to come out and get that 14-0 lead. I mean, get that lead and you put pressure. And as soon as that happened, Twitter starts ramping up. Everybody starts, hey, are you tuning in? Are you tuning in? Hey, it's Friday night. Are you watching? Everybody's like, hey. And
tell
then
your friends.
And we've mentioned this team, UVA team can score. Chandler Morris, who I think graduated high school the same year you did,
let's see. Can we name all the schools Chandler Morris has played at?
Oh no. Oklahoma.
He didn't play at Oklahoma, but he was there. He transferred to TCU,
North
Texas, Wisconsin.
Was it Wisconsin too? Oh
I feel like wasn't it Wisconsin?
I don't know.
When they brought over the North Carolina coordinator?
I have no idea.
I feel like it was Wisconsin and then Virginia.
Okay. Well, the dude's drawing Social Security at this point. I don't know. But
yeah,
listen, he's found an offense that works. They're scoring points. They were scoring points before this game. I've been saying this for a little while. And Florida State did not have an answer for him. Now, in fairness, Florida State was able to finally get going. This game was back and forth. It was an exciting matchup. But, man, if you're Florida State, you just don't want to be in these. You don't want to be the road favorite on a weeknight. Friday night, a big crowd. A Friday night college crowd. They're all ready to go for the weekend. And you don't
just walk into Scott Stadium, man.
No. And so that stuff happens. And thank goodness Squirrel White is still alive after that field storming. I mean, that was crazy, that field storming.
Dude, the hill, man.
Yes. That we've been on that hill before.
Yes.
But yeah, that was good for Virginia. I mean, all of a sudden, this Virginia team, and I sent some stats the other day. I mean, they are third in the nation in yards per game or points per game, something like that. I mean, they're scoring. And I don't care if your defense is great or not. If you're scoring a lot of points, you're going to be in games. And they're one Chandler Morris bad.
Can you imagine?
Well, I mean,
yeah. I was about to say the interception against
if he had hit that throw and interception, if he had made that poor decision at NC State, they'd be undefeated right now. I mean, and listen, have you seen their schedule? I sent this to you. It's Cream Puff City.
Yeah.
Louisville's the game this weekend. They beat Louisville this weekend. They'll be favored in every single game the rest of the year.
Yep. And Tony Elliott will get a contract extension.
Yes. And, a donor, I don't know, people listening to this may not know this. A donor came in and gave him $10 million for NIL right at the start of the end of the last season.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just dropped it, and the money just came into the bank the next day. Like
They spent it. Let me tell you, they spent it.
so they did spend it, and so who knows? I don't think they're not going. They're not going 11-1. I think they'll slip up at least once or twice.
Hey, they
maybe.
could make the ACC title game.
Right now, they're 2-0. They're undefeated. Remember that NC State loss was not a conference game,
Yep.
so they are in first place in the ACC. I mean, they just do take care of the business. They're going to be in the now. Again, we're getting way ahead of the game, but congratulations. Now, Florida State, it kind of messed things up a little bit for them. They're still okay, but there's your one hiccup.
That's the problem, though, is that you can't afford a loss to Miami next week.
No.
Because if you do that, you're probably not making the ACC title game.
Not, and then a 10-2 team, boy, in the ACC, and an ACC that's not very good at the bottom. I will
say for Florida State, it's good they got that Alabama win, because if Alabama goes on and wins the SEC, which they very well could, I think that will save Florida State and get them in as an at-large.
Maybe, but we just don't know how everything else is going to break.
Right. Yeah.
But that Virginia loss, and we don't know what Virginia's going to do. Virginia could end up going 7-5, and it looks a lot worse.
Right.
If Virginia goes to the ACC championship game, then all of a sudden, hey, that's not a bad loss. Yeah, that puts a lot of pressure on that game Saturday night at Doak.
Dude, that's going to be an insane game.
Yes. And we're at the wrong game on Saturday.
You were at the wrong Florida game. Yeah. Hey, what can you do? What can you do?
So, anyway, yeah, that was just fun to see Virginia football mean something, fun to see everybody talk about it. It's been a long time since Virginia football has been relevant, and especially in a year where the Hokies are down, it feels good in this state.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great.
All right, the game we have not talked about, and we haven't talked about this team since week 1.
Ohio State, baby.
Yes. Give me your thoughts on this one.
I've got to issue a statement. This is a public service announcement. I am sorry that I bought into all the hype around Washington. Now they are injured, so they're probably a little better than what they showed against Ohio State. And they had some chances in the first half to make this a game, but they couldn't execute. So my thoughts on this are Ohio State is that good. That was not just a mirage. They are that good of a team. Obviously, the elite talent. They have the best offensive and the best defensive player in the country. Caleb Downs on defense, the safety, and Jeremiah Smith on all wide receiver on offense. They look good on the lines of scrimmage. Julian Sand looked good. He didn't make any amazing throws, but he didn't mess up anything either, which I think is pretty solid. You don't even really have to. Ohio State's at that level where I was talking about with Georgia, right? Where you don't even need that huge of a playmaker at quarterback. You just need somebody to drive the train, somebody to distribute, point guard style, and he did a good job of that. I think that Washington's defense did oddly better than I thought they would, especially in the first half. It was pretty low score. What was the score in the first? What was it? 7-3 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, something like that.
So I credit to Washington's defense. Man, Damon Williams looked small. Man, he looked small out there, and he's fast. But he just, I don't think they have the weapons around him to really take advantage of what he can do. And some of their guys were injured. I realize, but yeah, I think I may have been too high on Washington, and that's how it is. I will say this kind of seems like if Washington really goes into the portal next year, gets some pieces, and retains they could be a spicy team next year. But I think this year they're just okay. They're good, not great.
Yeah, I think they're a decent team, and I think Ohio State has proven probably that they're going to have something to say about defending their title. It's a good team.
Yep.
I think them and Oregon are 1-2, 2-1, however you want to phrase it right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in the playoffs. It's just a matter of where they're going to be and how healthy are they going to be.
Yeah.
So I didn't get my eyes on some of the Big 12 games of the week. Maybe you want to give me an update, maybe either on TCU, Arizona State, or any of the other Big 12.
Yeah, I watched some TCU, Arizona State on Friday night. I will say, heartbreaker for TCU.
You say that with a smile on your face.
um, they also got beaten by Arizona State, like Baylor. So we're happens. I will say they were up, I think 14 or 17 at one point in this game, and they let Arizona State come back. Arizona State is kind of a weird team where they haven't ever looked like insane in any of their specific games, but they've just been like good and solid and kind of an average, just like good team. It's like I don't know what you call like a Honda Civic. Like it can go pretty fast. It's pretty reliable, but it's not gonna like, blow your mind on anything. So I like Arizona State. I think they did pretty well. They're probably going to be. Are they ranked? I never check the polls anymore. They're either on the cusp or they're right there. I don't know exactly, but
Yeah.
I still think they're probably a
Yeah,
contender.
they're 25th.
Yeah, they're a contender for the Big 12 title for sure. Josh Hoover played well in parts, but it wasn't enough. So
Okay.
interesting. And I will say, Iowa State rolled, man. They look good.
Yeah.
I was wrong for doubting them preseason. They look good. They rolled Arizona. Arizona was getting creative with some other teams and looked like they might be a threat this year. And then Iowa State took them to the woodshed. So
Yeah. The other game, we have a couple other quick things.
Notre Dame fired Sam Pittman.
The Notre Dame redemption tour continues, where you got to score at least 50 points a game for the next 10 games to justify why you're going to be in the college football playoff. So they did that. They rolled all over Arkansas, including fake punts, basically killing Sam Pittman's job at Arkansas. Sam Pittman was fired on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Real quickly, Georgia Tech had to go to overtime against Wake Forest. Wake Forest should have won that game.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this is another refs messing stuff up.
I did see this. This was a mess. The guy was offsides. Should have been called.
He was very clearly offsides.
But shame on them. I mean, it almost looked like Wake had given up. They just assumed the call was going to be made. And so I don't know, whatever, but it wasn't made. You give Georgia Tech a chance. They took advantage, and that's what happens. So Georgia Tech survives.
Yeah, I think that's actually, as unfortunate it is for Wake, I think it's huge for Georgia Tech and the ACC, because it's not, you want your best teams to succeed. And if Georgia Tech loses to Wake there, I think that probably hurts the ACC overall because let's look at the rest of Georgia Tech's schedule for a second.
Well, it's pretty favorable if I remember.
They have Virginia Tech, at Duke, Syracuse, at NC State, at Boston College, Pitt, Georgia. They got past Wake. I do think you can't write off the fact they may lose one or two of these games in a stupid fashion. Just because if you look back at the program last couple of years, they've done that. But there's a real possibility that Georgia Tech makes the ACC title game with either 0 or 1 ACC loss, and another good team may get left out, like a Florida State or Miami. It'll be interesting because they're undefeated right now, and I'm big Georgia Tech. I like Georgia Tech, but I want to see them be consistent week after week and really put teams away. And I don't know if they're doing that right now.
Yeah. Listen, all I know is we're just at the end of September. We've got a lot more chaos that's going to happen. So so all these records we're predicting, it's going to get chaotic, and it's going to be a great November. It's going to be a great October, but November is going to be even crazier, I think.
Yep. Totally agree.
So, all right. Anything else you want to cover today?
No, nothing I can.
All games. This week feels like we got some bye weeks coming this week, I believe, for some teams. But we'll talk about that on our show this week coming up.
All right.
So
okay.
All right.
That's good. Oh, do we want to talk about Arkansas coaching position for a sec?
Well, I had said this a year and a half ago. I think they're going to go after Rhett Lashley. Bobby Petrino clearly is making a push for the job. He'd like the job back. You don't even remember when he was coach there originally.
His equation is really simple. Win games and you get hired.
Which is
if
going to be hard.
you're Bobby Petrino. The problem is that's
Yeah.
very hard to do.
I don't know if they can get the money to get Rhett Lashley, and I'm not sure SMU's not a better job at this point.
I tend to agree. I don't know in the long term how that is, but as of right now, I think SMU. Not only I think you can get better talent there relative to the conference, but I also think you might be able to just get better talent there overall.
Maybe so.
They have like, look, if Walmart and Tyson Chicken spent their money at Arkansas, they could be a unit. But they're not spending. They're not spending like Cody Campbell. They're not spending like the SMU boosters.
No,
they're not.
No, they're not.
And
so it could be the best job that's open right now, but I don't know that it is. It's, but we'll see.
Which is a better job, Arkansas or UCLA?
Gosh, UCLA is such a mess.
It is. But Arkansas, you have no money because they spend it all on basketball and baseball.
I'd take the UCLA job.
Right. So, but UCLA spends money on basketball too.
Yeah, I think I'd take the UCLA job. I think there's opportunities at UCLA. I think you could, in the right situation with the right guarantees.
There's more potential. A guy could come in and unlock it.
I just don't know that you can. I don't even know if you got all the money at Arkansas. You're still the 13th best job in the SEC, 14th.
Yeah, and like low key, Vanderbilt seems to be spending more on football than Arkansas does right now.
Yeah. I mean, UCLA, you could jump a lot of those Midwest schools if you got things rolling.
Yeah.
Because
way more talent. Yeah.
Talent base. You've got Arizona, California. You've got a big pool of people. There's potential at UCLA.
And there's history there too.
Who
was a better job? Arkansas or Virginia Tech?
Arkansas. There's at least some money there, and you're in the SEC.
Yeah. But you got to think. So Virginia Tech, they're now 6th in the ACC in spending, right? With the new improvements.
Supposedly, yes.
That's still relatively better than Arkansas is in the SEC.
No.
Like relative to the rest of the conference, yeah. Arkansas is way lower than 6th in the SEC in spending.
Well, yeah, but dollar-wise, Arkansas is still spending more money.
I see dollar-wise. I'm saying relative. Like relative to the conference that they are in.
But prestige of the job. I mean, Arkansas won a national title in the 60s. I mean, come on. You're an SEC
right,
job.
But
I mean, you've got the guaranteed paychecks coming in, the bigger paychecks coming in. Arkansas is a better job.
Okay.
Anytime you're a Big Ten SEC job is going to be pretty much better than any ACC job, other than maybe Clemson, Florida State, Miami.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
I could see that.
That's just the way it's going to work.
I think Louisville is better than some of those Big Ten schools.
Louisville better than what? Purdue, maybe? Louisville better than Minnesota?
Northwestern, Minnesota,
maybe
Wisconsin.
Maybe the absolute bottom of the Big Ten, but pretty much every SEC school, for the most part, is going to be better than every single ACC school.
Yeah.
Other than Clemson, Miami, Florida State. Those are the three that kind of stand out.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. Well, we'll do this. We'll do our preview show either Wednesday or Thursday. We'll figure that out.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow on all the socials. We'll keep you posted on when the preview show is going out. Thank you to our loyal listeners. I saw we had somebody in the chat in watching there for a little bit, and appreciate it. And make sure to tune in live next time if you're listening. Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Wahoo wah.
Wahoo wah, baby.